All right, taking you to another part of the world now, the Vatican has announced the date of the inaugural Mass of Pope Leo XIV. The Mass is to pray for the newly elected Pontiff's papacy and will take place on the 18th of May. This was announced together with a number of his other duties. And for more on this, we're joined by Linda Mnisi, who is still at the Vatican. Linda, good morning or good afternoon. Not sure what time of day it is there, but tell us more about this process and what happens next.
It's morning, Masachaba, and of course, this is one of the next events that the Pope, the newly elected Pope, will be attending, like you mentioned in your intro, to pray for his papacy. The appointment of a president, or even, a Zulu king, for example. But it is, of course, that inauguration, and it will be done, of course, in line with the Roman Catholic Church's, religious practices that we've been seeing playing out over the past couple of weeks. And of course, it comes at a time when people are still really trying to, understand who the newly elected Pope is, Pope Leo XIV. And there's great discussions about who he is. You would have also seen some international media going to his family home in Chicago in the United States to basically get a sense of who he is, how he grew up, but also the work that he's done in the religious community. And one thing that stands out about, what his family has been telling the media is really how this process, they've been preparing themselves for the possibility of him being a pope for many, many years, because he started this journey when he was very young, 10 years old. So they've kind of known that he's given his life to the church, and he does not only belong to the family. And we often don't look at it that way, Masachaba, when we think of popes, because they are everybody's father. They are an international figure, a father for not only the Catholics, but those who identify with the beliefs that they hold. And, very little is given, or regard or thinking is given to the fact that this is still a human being that comes from a family who now can't see him as regularly as they used to. They can't just pop into the Vatican as they can. He can't also just go as he pleases to Chicago, where he recently spent about 4 weeks with his brother. But among some of the other conversations that are happening, Masichaba, are the issues around, his fun side of things. What baseball team in Chicago did he like, or does he like? Is he a Cubs fan, or is he a White Sox fan? And you would have seen the Cubs releasing on their billboards that he is in fact a Cubs fan, but that was quickly debunked by his brother, who said he was never a Cubs fan. In fact, he's a White Sox fan. So a lot is still in discussion about who he is, people trying to really familiarize himself with what he stands for and the kind of papacy that he will lead. And that inaugural mass will really, introduce him again to the world, and of course, which kickstarts really his processes, although from the moment he was elected Pope, he becomes Pope. But today, he's expected to be meeting with cardinals. These are the people that play a role of his advisor, and of course, take care of a number of churches, dioceses as well, around the world. So they play a critical role, because after the Pope in the hierarchy of the church, then comes cardinals. On Sunday, there'll be a prayer at the St. Peter's Basilica. On Monday, he's meeting with the international press. So on Monday, he'll be talking to the world officially, and will be able to take questions from anybody that has questions. So Monday is also quite an important day. We're at least over a week from now, to that inaugural mass that will take place at the St. Peter's Basilica.